Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to the Sweaty Plebs Podcast. And this week, there is no song. So
there's a song.
There's a song.
I wrote a song just for this part.
Yeah?
This song is, it's called Fuck Faulkner for making us do this on Sunday 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, you're in treat for next week.
Oh, what day are we doing next week?
We'll talk about that later. And let's get back to this week. Two huge things happened this week. The most important thing this week is beer first. I guess there's three most important things. There's three most important things because I forgot the beer again.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan, what you got?
We'll start this off. I'll be honest, I don't actually know what this is called. It's kind of hard to read. This is called Citra Fuel from Altamont Beer Works. I got it because I hadn't seen it before. That's why I got it. It is an IPL. I believe that is. Check date on can for freshness. Okay, yeah, this is fresh. Oh, on the bottom it says "Fuel up, baby." I like that. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Nope.
Hell yeah, baby. Fuel up. Here, let me show you that bottom again. Yeah, it's great. It's a lager.
Sweet.
It's not great, but it's good.
It works.
I like it more now that I know baby on the bottom.
All right.
That's my beer review.
Beautiful. Well
Awesome.
put. Got the Estrella Jalisco Mango Michelada. Got a cute little card on there. Some nice colors.
Nice, good colors.
Very big guy.
Is it spicy?
Yes. I'm going to go with no based off the mango part, but I would like to be surprised.
Mangoes can be hot.
Yes, it is not spicy at all, and it barely tastes like mangoes, but it is a Michelada, and I like it.
Awesome.
You gotta spice it up.
Until it starts snowing regularly, it's still Michelada season.
Perfect. You got to take it while you can.
Michelada season.
All right, I got this week. I've had this one before because it was a 4-pack. It's Kaleidoscope from Parliament. It's a hazy IPA. I quite enjoy it. And that's it.
Yeah,
I'm
prove
sorry,
it.
guys. It was
Stop doing repeats.
Yeah,
Sorry.
prove that you enjoy it. Okay.
I'm honestly scared. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I didn't like that. If you enjoy it so much, drink it right now. Chug it. Chug it.
You know I don't chug
Chug it,
beer.
Chug it, you little bastard.
Shotgun it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
do it.
Let's
Drink
get
it
the
fast.
games. The most important news this week was a game, and it was...
Wait. No. Let me do this part. Most important thing this week. Mario was coming out on Friday. And then one of the people in this circle of or triangle of people that we have here said, I bet you Nintendo is going to announce a more important game is coming out in this direct. It's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this?
Yes.
And then what happened? That game came out.
Yeah. I mean, we knew it was coming out.
So I just want it to be known. One of us might know the future. Maybe. Possibly.
All right. And Aiden, what game came out? Because Dylan's being weird.
It is Supergiant's newest game, Hades.
Oof. Boys.
Yeah, wonderful action roguelike game.
This game is top tier. This might be my 10 out of 10 this year. Game of the year. Oh, Cyberpunk still isn't out, but fuck, this game is amazing.
It's honestly kind of perfect.
It's so much fun. I was really looking forward to Mario, and then that game actually did come out, and I barely played any Mario. I love Hades. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
Style's great.
I was
Voice acting's top tier.
Yeah, I was supposed to read like a lot of pages because we decided to like read a fuck ton of pages. Didn't read any. I am so far behind now because I'm playing Hades. Like the combat feels smooth, especially for like a 1.0 launch on the Switch. Sometimes there's like performance issues.
I see a little bit of those specifically around whenever I get, I don't know what you call it, like the 45-second rooms, and it's a bunch of the dudes with the big orange dudes who have like shields. Sometimes it's a little bit laggy there, but it's still manageable.
Yeah.
So
the
much
only
fun.
issues I've noticed are I've had like 1 or 2 times where my range just crashed, closed out of the game, and it reset my entire run, which sucks, but it's happened like twice, and also I don't know. I guess I was just playing shittily.
I mean, that
Broke
game
the game.
is you're gonna do runs over and over again anyways, so it's like the nature of the game.
Yes.
Aiden,
the
give
only
us
thing I'll say that's
give us a quick breakdown of what Hades is for people that don't know what Hades is.
all right. So,
God of the Underworld.
yep, you're basically the son of Hades. I'm gonna do as few spoilers as I can. Your name's Zagreus, and it's basically just about you realizing, hey, Hades is kind of a dick. I want to get out of here. And so you battle through the levels of the underworld, trying to get out, beating bosses such as Megara, her sisters, a giant snake,
A bony
Thank
snake.
you.
Yeah.
Bony snake. And
Yeah.
actually, how far are you guys before
I beat the bony snake. I'm in that area
I've-
after, and I keep dying.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're in
I've gotten to
Elysium.
the boss of Elysium a bunch of times, but I can only focus down one of them.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to stop going about what happens after that, but going through the
No, go
area, you have... Oh, okay, so
Spoilers.
spoiler territory.
Yeah.
You battle through Elysium, then you get right under the surface, you get a fun little...
Okay, spoilers. Aiden, I wasn't ready for this.
No, hey, no, it's okay. We get worse. You get a fun little challenge area where it's just loading up, fighting some of the hardest enemies in the game. Get your final boons in, which I'll jump back to and explain what they are before you fight the final boss. Do you guys want to take a guess who that is?
Hades.
Is it Hades?
You nailed it. Proud of you. I have
I
no
knew-
idea what the
I knew
actual
it.
ending of the game is because I haven't beaten on the Switch and I love it so much that I just restarted from stage 1. But it's a fantastic game. Super wonderful builds because you get all these interesting power upgrades from gods. There's like something like 10 different upgrades that you can get for each individual weapon to give you unique runs. It's just amazing.
Dude,
I just love it.
The progression system and like just the skill system is so varied. Like every run's great, and every run still feels great, even like when you swap weapons or whatever, and you have the different boons, and then you have the different currency syncs that like feels meaningful every time you die, like do a run and die. Like, oh man,
no matter what, you get something out of the run.
Yeah, and then all the
It's
NPCs
great.
have value, right? Because you're like giving them gifts to unlock stuff, and then there's like story elements that are associated to it, and voice acting.
All very good.
Yeah,
I will say
mild
I
spoilers.
have some complaints about the game.
Sure. What is it?
Number one, I'm not Super Mario Sunshine, which I had planned to at this point in my whatever it is, like 18 years late, you know. Number two, I don't actually like the music all that much in this game. I think we're powering a little bit too loud. So I turned the music down. I don't think it's bad music, but it's just it's a little too much.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't care about it. I'm just going to use it as background noise. There are a couple tracks and people who do music in the actual game lore, and their songs are amazing.
Yeah, I actually I can't even like recognize it right now because I usually turn background music off because I'm like playing it while I'm watching TV, so I don't want the game music to override whatever's happening on the TV.
That's fair.
I'm doing the same thing where I have a show on or a movie on, and I have that on in the background.
Yeah.
But the music from Hades was so loud that I found myself like not paying attention. I was like, I gotta turn this down.
Yeah, wonderful game, man. Fuck, it's great.
I would say when you meet Eurydice and the court musician, if they're playing music, turn them back on.
Okay.
Those tracks
I
are
have
honestly
met
amazing.
Eurydice, the singing lady. I like her. Her music is good, and the court
Her
musician
music is good.
still refuses to play music for me. I don't know.
'Cause you're
Yeah,
gross.
when he does it, it's a good payoff.
Yeah. It's
Unless
wonderful.
they've drastically changed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I love it.
top tier
it's
roguelike
a-
for me.
Yeah.
It's very quickly replaced all other roguelikes that I've been playing
At the moment, yeah, for sure.
that I had been juggling. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun that Allison, my girlfriend, asked to play it, and I was like, I know you don't like roguelike game. Well, she loves Split Spire, so but I was like, you won't like this game. I guaranteed her. And then I was like, you can try it on mine. Played it all day Saturday
Nice.
on my account, and then
Nice.
immediately was like, I'm gonna buy this on my Switch, and just bought it.
It's
So,
it's a feedback loop, like the
yeah.
run loop. Like you allocate the essences, you upgrade your stats, and they feel meaningful. It's great.
It's a wonderful game.
Top tier.
Very happy with it. Yeah.
Also, now that you guys have played some more, what are your favorite weapons?
Ooh, probably
What?
spear. I haven't unlocked the final
Oh.
weapon, but probably the spear at the moment.
I've got all the weapons. I think spear is still my favorite. I've only used the final weapon one time, but I think it's also the
It's-
farthest I've ever gotten.
Yeah,
So
it can get really good runs with it.
yeah, I've only used it that one time, and I want to say that one might be my favorite, but I couldn't say for sure.
Yeah, I just got to play with it more. But yeah,
What's your favorite god or add-on? I don't really know what you call them.
Boons?
sure.
Yeah, boon.
Yeah,
Well, no. What's your favorite god? Because the boons I feel like is too.
just general upgrades. Yeah.
Fair.
That's a tough one. I can tell you my least favorite is Aphrodite.
Oh, with the hangover.
Yeah,
No,
weak
that's
is
Dionysus.
No, that's
oh,
Dionysus.
Yeah, Aphrodite is just
Hangover
weakness, and
especially.
depending
yeah.
on what weapon you're using, it can be tight.
She's okay. Yeah.
She gives really good just
Yeah, I
general
feel like that one
damage
is-
upgrades, but they feel less neat because I feel like the goal in all roguelikes is not just take less damage, it's just dodge.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my favorite is the
I like,
spear, but then I like getting the special where it hits like 7 people and does like extra damage.
Yeah.
But then you like combine it with Ares for the Doom, or
Doom is
Poseidon
okay,
for
fun.
the knockback. The knockback's kind of great, like when you're like getting overwhelmed, you're just like, all right, I'm gonna knock everyone away.
Yeah, knockback
Yeah.
is one of Poseidon knockback is one of my favorites and least favorites at the same time. It depends entirely on what weapon you're using.
The weapon, yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just had a run where I had spear, except for my special was knockback, and it just flow well with anything else that I have. It's just like this sucks because like I had that ranked up, like leveled up the highest,
Mm-hmm.
so that was like my damage thing. But like if I used it, I pushed them out of everything else that I was doing.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's
Yeah. It's
just
good.
it's a roguelike, and it's a very good one.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
It's well thought out. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Hades, 10 out of 10. Best roguelike of the year.
Yeah, it's in the upper echelon.
Yeah, dude.
I think so.
Supergiant.
It's instantly Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
Level. Dead Cells it's up there.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll reach my
Faulkner,
like
this
upper
is-
echelon.
I don't know, man. It's pretty top tier. I haven't. Yeah, it's pretty top tier
Yeah.
for
It
a
is,
roguelike.
but like the two other ones that are like right at the top for me are just Binding of Isaac and Enter the Gungeon, and as much as I love this game, I
Yeah.
don't think they can be like matched by this game in diversity. or in variety of runs.
Yeah, but Enter the Gungeon and Binding at launch, were they as comparable?
Nope.
Okay.
So yeah, we're hoping for the best, but
Yeah. Like, this is their
I think
launch
it's just
statement, right? Like kind of like Dead Cells. Like, Dead Cells at launch wasn't... I mean, Dead Cells was amazing at launch. But Dead Cells in its current state is much better overall.
Yeah.
Right.
Dead Cells has changed 7 different times. It's
Yeah.
a different game.
Yeah.
Pretty much each time.
So, like, Hades
Honestly,
at launch...
I don't even...
Comparatively, other than maybe Slay of Spire, like, Slay of Spire at launch was almost perfect for me.
Slay the Spire, I feel like Gavin ages overall.
Yeah. So... Also, I haven't jumped into Isaac or... Well, I've done Enter the Gungeon a little bit, but it's a bullet hell game, and I'm like...
Hey.
Isaac is actually a lot more fun than I had originally given it credit for.
Yeah, you told
in
us.
recent weeks. Isaac is 1,000 times better than Enter the Gungeon to me. And it's not even close. Enter the Gungeon, there's no like real meta progression, right?
So
Unless
here's the
I'm just
secret.
missing it.
What I'll recommend, because it's how I actually got into it, is there's a special NPC that lets you do rainbow runs. So each floor, instead of searching around for all the chests, you just get one rainbow chest at the start of every floor, which gives you an S or A tier item. And it's just, you get actually good items every run that way. And you use that to actually get good
I
at the
feel
game.
like I just have that character, or I just never tried it for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
I never
It's
jumped into it too much, to be
yeah.
honest.
Also, if bullet hell's going to be your problem with
It's a
dungeon,
very
you will
good
not
one
like
of those.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just genre for me
Yeah,
more than anything else.
That's fair. I don't blame people for not liking that.
Hey,
But they're just
speaking of
so good.
games, I guess. I tried to watch some Spelunky this week too. I said I've never played Spelunky.
Me too. I've never touched it.
How's it?
Yeah,
It looks good, but
I've tried it a little bit, but it's just
I'm not interested in playing it
it's weird. It's like I can
on
tell
PlayStation. Yeah.
how deep it gets and like how
Mhm.
awesome it could be, but on the surface, I just don't get it.
It doesn't grasp you.
No, it straight up looks like a game from like 2000.
It's fair.
I mean,
Well,
Spelunky 2. I watched Spelunky 2.
now that we just circle jerked all over Hades, let's get into the big industry news. Sony had a huge showcase this week. I think they had a wonderful showcase. It was, for the most part,
Pretty good.
really good.
Yeah.
A lot of great titles. Let's get the main piece out, the price point of the PS5 and the PS5 digital. I think the price point is fantastic. We have $499 and $399. $399 is a wonderful pro-consumer price point that I don't think they wanted to do.
Yep. So
They
thank you,
definitely didn't.
Microsoft.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the disc list was supposed to be $499,
Yes.
and the other one was supposed to be $599. I just
In that range, I agree. I think
Yeah.
it could have been like maybe $50 down, but definitely
Yeah.
in that range. I think Microsoft did a wonderful job. Like, all right, I guess we'll do it, and we're just gonna do a hella undercut, and it worked. I think for the consumer, this is like probably the best case going into a console generation ever.
yeah. I mean, it didn't go up, right? Really?
No.
No.
This is
Basically
like,
went down with inflation.
yeah, like going into a console generation, this is like the best it's ever been. It's wonderful. Like when you look at the hardware and what you're getting, like you can't even get PCs at these price points. It's obscene. It's obscene, ridiculous.
But yeah, shouts out.
Yeah,
Be dropping $400 when
when
possible.
when things clear up. So
Yeah.
PS5, they got a launch date. We have November 12th for US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and the rest of the world is November 19th. So that's going to be 2 days after the Xbox launch. price they list the pricing for some of the accessories. It's generally the same as it's always been. But they did have a big pre-order fiasco that happened. So essentially, retailers like Walmart, Target, Best Buy all jumped the gun early and launched the pre-orders a few hours after initial announcement. It resulted in PS5 consoles running out within minutes and retailers' websites crashing, leaving many people's very upset. Since then, PlayStation has apologized for the fiasco and says it could have been a lot smoother. The company noted they will release more PS5s for pre-orders over the next few days and weeks, and the retailers expected to share more details soon. They're stating that there's going to be more PS5s and PS4s at launch. So that's kind of what happened at that. So Microsoft made a comment. They threw some shade at them saying, don't worry, guys. We'll let you know what the pre-order plan will be before we launch. And some journalists found out that Xbox will be penalizing retailers by lowering their allocations if they break the embargoes, essentially.
For them.
Seems smart. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I won't be surprised if the same exact thing happens, but
I fully expect the same thing to happen.
Yeah.
Like, all you're doing is saying when it's going to happen.
Yeah. And then shit's going to break.
Be ready.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. Kind of the truth of it is, regardless of announcing it or not, they're going to be sold out in literal seconds.
The only way things don't break is if they actually, like, each of these retailers create a lobby system where people queue up, right, and stuff like that. That's the only way.
Even then, it will still.
Yeah, I've
everybody will be mad.
I've had my share of like getting San Diego Comic-Con tickets, where it's like the most stressful moments of my life. It's like getting queued up to get tickets, right? So I totally expect a shit show. But Xbox did announce their pre-order time frame. So pre-order September 22nd, 8 a.m. for pre-orders, and 8 a.m. for Xbox All Access. Cool.
Okay.
Anything else about the console itself? I think we're all excited for it.
Yes.
I think we're all, from our conversations, tell me if I'm wrong, that the digitals are our go-to.
Yeah. I don't need this. I have no use for them.
Well, I'm probably gonna go disc on one of them, and leaning towards Series X disc.
Why disc?
Well, I still got some DVDs. You know me. I got my DVD. Got some Blu-rays.
Well, use your One X for the DVDs.
I mean, yeah, but I could, but.
So, to piggyback off that, GameStop's already announced trade-in values for the One X and the One S. $200 for a One X to upgrade to a Series X, and then it's like $100 for a One S.
So yeah, jump on that quick if you want to, because GameStop will not be around for too much longer, I assume.
I think this will give them like a little push, but then about 6 months later, like it might go bad. Yeah.
It gets people in the doors, but it doesn't necessarily bring them more money.
Yeah. That digital price. Yeah. So I think when it comes to Xbox consoles, are you guys still holding out long term for the Series X, or are you thinking about the One S digital combo, like PS5 digital combo?
So I'm probably
Series
not
X.
going to do the One S. Yeah, I may do All Access.
It's not
but
a
I
bad deal.
still
Man.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a big deal to deal with that.
Yeah.
My same stance of I know I'm going to get the Series X at some point, so I'm not going to bother with the S.
That's fair. Yeah. Like I said, I kind of want to hold out for an X for like a special edition, like a Halo special edition. So, as an impulse, I might pick up an S as an impulse purchase at like Target if I'm passing it. Like, fuck it, let's toss it in the cart, kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see myself doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, that's how I'm going to get one. So.
Yeah, and then because I have no qualms of like Dylan said, like giving one to your guys' pop, right? Like, all right, here you go, Dad. I got my X, so it's good to go. And I'm like in that
Yep.
same situation. I have like family members. I could easily go, hey, here you go. I upgraded. It's no big deal.
Expect that's
Yeah.
probably what's going to happen. With me,
Yeah.
most likely.
Let's get into the rest of the direct, the showcase. The showcase was fantastic. Now, for someone like me and maybe Dylan, this is probably really good. PS Plus announced their collection thing, and essentially, it's a bunch of first-party titles that are going to be available on their PS Plus plan. So we're getting God of War, Bloodborne, Final Fantasy 14, Fallout 4, Uncharted, Ratchet and Clank, Days Gone. There's a bunch of games. Bunch of first-party titles that are going to be
Some
available.
bangers.
Yeah.
It's like almost every single one of those games is like a classic to me. So
Exactly. So
God of War is amazing.
for new people, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, especially, like because I'm excited to go get a PS5 now. Like I see this and I'm like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. I'm gonna pay for this 1-year subscription, and I have these bangers to pound it out.
also, just as a comment, Persona I think has some of the best video game music out there.
Yeah,
I used Persona theme. Yeah, it's like the one JRPG that I'm sad that I lose interest in. Every other one's just like, oh well, who cares? I'm bummed when I stop playing Personas.
I've heard many times that Persona 5 is like the banger, like the JRPG of the generation.
I've had a Persona 5 theme on my PS4 for like 3-4 years now, playing the same song every time I turn it on.
Yeah.
I'm still not tired of that song.
So
Like I can sit there listening to it for hours and love it.
this seems like PlayStation's response towards Game Pass. It's not quite Game Pass, obviously, but I think it's the push in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because I think
Pretty
PlayStation, they could have not done this. They have enough equity in the industry to like, they could have not done this at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Game Pass is really, well, just Microsoft, like with their pro consumer thing and like how quiet Sony has been. Like it's really helping them push. Like now we're seeing the price on the console. That's probably a reason now you're seeing something like this. So it's pretty wonderful. I think I'm very excited to jump into that ecosystem this coming generation because of it.
I think you should be.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I think we're all going to probably get a PlayStation first, right?
Yep. They have actual games coming out at launch that I want, so
Yeah.
I'm in no rush to get either of them.
Yeah. The only
Really?
reason I ask, because games we all play together as a group, the question is like, well, what console are we going to play these games on? Or
Yeah,
what platform, right?
I'll wait, like, for,
Like COD
I
is
don't
the
know what
most recent one coming
Yeah,
to my
like-
mind, right?
for COD, I'll always 100% get that on Xbox.
Well, I mean, they have
100%.
crossplay, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, yes, I'm not going to buy COD twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't super matter, but pretty much always Xbox for any game like
Sure.
that.
sure.
Just because I have other friends.
You don't have any other friends. What are you
With.
talking about? It's just us three. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, some other people who mainly play on Xbox.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. Most of my friends outside of you guys play on Xbox also. Should we get into the games? There's some sexy games in this list. I
I'll
don't.
let you start with this because I feel like you're the most excited for
Yeah.
the first one.
I don't think Dylan's excited at all.
I'm
I'm
No, I'm
also
not
bummed it's not on your level.
Yeah, I don't. You're not a JRPG kind of guy, Dylan. So, so we have Final Fantasy 16. I was totally surprised by this trailer. I did not expect a Final Fantasy for another probably year or two, to be honest. And
I just love high fantasy games.
I think that's the beauty of it. They're going back to more of like a medieval high fantasy route, as opposed to like the futuristic like Final
Let's see.
Fantasy 15.
I liked
this is
it,
more
but it was weird.
interesting setting wise, but
Yeah.
at the same point,
And,
it's
like,
still
It's still a
gonna be one of
JRPG.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing that we see later on in it is the combat.
Yes.
I mean, it's only in a sneak peek, but it looks actually fun. Like, actually amazing. Better than Final Fantasy 15, which just looked cool, but wasn't actually fun. Kind of more like the 7 remake, where it's just legitimately good combat.
Yeah. I think they're going to piggyback off of, like, what they did right with 7 and then move that forward into 16, right? They're like, dude, 7 was a banger. What worked, what didn't work, and let's put that into the next title. I think there's a lot of cool like story elements based on this trailer. So I'm like, the only reason I say that is because I'm reading a book called Stormlight Archives, and it's a high fantasy book. It's fantastic. It is amazing. And I saw this, and I was like, oh my god, what if this game reminds me of this book, and I want to play that book as a game, and this is like feeding into that. Yeah, it just looks fantastic. And again, it's a surprise more than anything else. Like, I'm surprised this is here.
Looks tight. We know
I mean,
Chocobos
it
are
does,
back.
it does look good. Yeah. Did they ever leave? I feel like they've been in every one.
They're in
But
every one.
For some reason, I always just get happy whenever I see them.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Chocobos
I
are
don't
just
know why I love them
adorable
so
and
much.
special. That was like one of the like coolest things about Final Fantasy VII is you could breed Chocobos to like get the ultimate Chocobo, and like that had like special characteristics. It was like a whole breeding meta game that you don't actually have to do to play like beat the game, but you do it because it's like a cool thing to do. So in this trailer during the event, this game had like it's running on PC emulating PS5, and there was like this expectation that this might also be coming to PC. Sony went on after the event to announce that it's not coming to PC after all, but based on Square Enix's relationship with like Microsoft and putting a lot of their titles on PC and cross-platform, I suspect it's more of a timed exclusive.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah. And the other reason for that is Sony, during a corporate report in this year, they said they're planning on expanding first-party titles to PC platform in order to increase profitability. So I suspect this is one of those games that are probably going to do it, especially if it's as good as it looks. It's going to do great. Yeah.
How do they keep adding numbers onto the end of the games?
Dude, the Roman numerals are getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just want to see how long it goes for.
Yeah. And the fact that Final Fantasy 14 is like doing in the MMO game space genre, it's considered the king right now. Like it toppled, for a lot of people, it's toppled like World of Warcraft in the MMO space. And so the directors, there's 2 directors, and they both come from Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo!
And I think a lot of people from a story aspect, Final Fantasy 14 had just general praise for their story content. So, cool stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good to hear.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add about this game other than I'm hella stoked. It's been a long time. Like Final Fantasy 15, I'm like, it's a little too kind of like bro-y J-pop kind of feel, but this one's like got some grittiness that I'm down.
The only part of Final Fantasy 15 I still think about is just how good the food looked in it.
It's on my
That's-
to-play list eventually.
Yeah.
I have still not played any Final Fantasies.
Remake. Once it's on PC or Xbox, I'll probably. Well, it might not matter now that I'm gonna jump on a PlayStation this generation. So
Yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah, I'm sure Aiden is super excited for this next title that's coming out. This is probably what won you in the showcase, I'm assuming.
Yep.
I was like, this is probably Aiden's game. I love the
It's the Aiden
concepts of Souls games. So Demon's Soul remake, legit remake, is coming out.
Looks amazing.
It looks really good. I saw some like comparisons videos of like certain scenes, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Demon's
Princi-
Souls was like early PS3 era.
Yeah. Prince of Persia should be hella embarrassed right now.
Yeah, they just canceled
think
that
they
one.
They should just
tried.
cancel
Yeah.
that title.
No.
Yeah.
It's not worth the bad will.
Yeah, it looks really good. So the studio said this is a full-on remake. The people that remaking it remade Shadow of Colossus on PS4. They stated it was
Good point.
essential to us that we recreated Demon Souls in a way that longtime fans are transported back to Boletaria they love.
Mhm.
This is a...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that company has shown me time and time again that they are literally the kings of remaking games. It's like I don't see how you could do it any better than what they've worked on in the past.
Sure. This trailer made me want to play it, to be honest, for like the first time.
It does look great, but I will not.
Because you already
partaking
know.
in this.
You already know, right?
Yeah.
Made this mistake once or twice before.
Yeah. Like I said, it may get me to play it. I don't know, because I already know like Souls games are really rough for me to want to jump into.
I love watching people play these games because I like the atmosphere and like the everything that goes on in it. I just don't want to learn how to do it all myself, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of rough to get into just because you legitimately will have to read a guide on character building.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just fuck yourself over and have a terrible time.
And that's how I like to. I like to just get into it. Let me just put my points where they don't belong.
Yeah, so Dark Souls is going to be PS5 exclusive, and it's a launch title. It's $70. So that automatically tells us Sony is going down the $70 route for games, which is, I think, perfectly fine. I think we've talked about it before. Like, it's about time games cost a little bit more, especially a game like this that's going to... How many hours do you think this will eat up for you, Aiden?
I can see it going into the hundreds.
Yeah.
Just depending on how much depth you can get with different character builds, because
Yeah.
you're gonna want to do a melee guy. Gonna probably want to do like a two-handed heavy dealing kind of guy. Definitely gonna do mage.
And this was originally a PS3 game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is a great, like, you skip a generation. Yeah. I know they did, like, a remaster. So you skip a generation, and then you relaunch a remake, another generation for people that didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, and this is literally the game that started the Soulsborne genre.
So, yeah, it looks wonderful, guys. I'm excited this game's coming out, even though I may not play it.
Okay. I'll probably stream it a little bit, so I'll let you guys know.
And that's Dylan right there. You died.
I've never died in one of these games.
Oh, yeah?
Never. I give up before I die.
It's gorgeous, man. This is like what you want next gen to look like. Like the lighting, like when you pay attention to the lighting, you're like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like even the eyes on that giant troll creature that you fought, like it looked amazing. And yeah, this is the exact game that I've been kind of wanting to play for a while now.
Yeah, everything about it is great.
Combat.
It's just
brutal.
It sucks that it's one of those. Because I love it. It looks great. Looks great.
Yeah.
Just, I know I won't have fun playing it.
So, next game, dude. So this game has been in like rumor mill forever. They had like a couple years ago like a big spoof, but it is Hogwarts Legacy.
It's my childhood dream.
Dude, I'm super excited for this game.
I'm interested, but I'm not excited at all.
I'm fully letting myself get hyped up because if it's just a disappointment, I want to be disappointed.
Sure. That's fair.
I am
essentially waited 20 years for this.
Yeah, I'm much more leaning towards this is going to be a disappointment.
So the studio, Avalanche, they're mostly famous for the Disney Infinity series.
Okay. So I'm remember when I said I was mostly leaning towards this is going to be a disappointment? I think I'm a little bit more towards I've already fallen off to the disappointment side.
You are disappointed?
Yeah. I don't know. I just it seems too good to be true.
I think it's
Like,
I
but
mean, it's
the way
crazy
they've
that it's
shown-
been 20 years and we finally get like an open world Harry Potter game.
Yeah.
Like you would think this would have happened 10 years ago at least.
Yeah, and I'm excited that it's not like actually Harry Potter, you know?
Mhm.
Like it's
Yes.
just the setting.
Yeah,
And
I
the
agree.
creatures look great. Especially like the one later on that they show in this trailer. But I just something about it feels like it's set up to be a letdown.
I think we need to see what the actual combat system is going to look like, actual gameplay, and then what the progression and skill system is probably going to be, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
Because as a fan I am of the books and the movies, they never go into detail. Like the magic system, so I read a lot of magic books, right? So fantasy books. The magic system isn't very good when you compare it to the genre. It's pretty like loose, and they kind of make up their own like magic system like on the fly. Like all of a sudden they just cast a spell that you've never seen any before, right? So I'm very interested to see how they actually create a structured system that defines the magic system in this universe, because it's very loose at the moment.
I could see that. I mean, I think they touch on it in the books and movies and whatnot, but there's no like real
Yeah.
defined
It's
system.
very light.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the power levels from like individuals like are super varied and super hype. Like all of a sudden one person's super powerful, then in another combat situation they're not, and like it's just very loose with how they do magic.
Yep.
It's whatever. It's like their plot armor, like kind of like how like Star Wars Jedis have like a huge plot armor. Like all of a sudden their
Star
power
Wars is a
level,
terrible thing. Star
yeah,
Wars
their
sucks.
power level just escalates to like obscene amounts that makes no sense, that has never been reported before. Harry Potter has a similar type of looseness with their skills. So to see a defined system will be deeply interesting. We'll see. Will I buy it at
Yep.
launch? Probably not, because I rarely buy single player open world games at launch. But
Oh, I will, and I will let you know.
I can't wait to see this
I will
disappointment.
tell you how let down I am.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to match the levels that I want.
Yes.
But so long as it's good, I'll be happy.
Yeah, because combining that you, one, are a fucking nerd, and then two, you're a big fan, so you have like these expectations of what a good magic and combat system are, right? It's like, are they going to go down the route of like light RPG like Assassin's Creed, or are they going to have like some like deep depth of like maybe like a
Maybe
Witcher
light.
depth? Or I mean, Witcher's pretty light too when it comes to actual melee combat, but they have some
Yeah.
complexity to it. Right.
We'll
I have a feeling
see.
it's going to be super light.
Yeah. I'm excited. Either way, it's coming out in 2021 on everything. It's coming out on everything. This is not an exclusive thing.
It's not coming out on Switch.
Pardon me. Not coming out on Switch.
Just can you imagine? That would not be great.
Big gameplay
Alright.
reveal was Miles Morales. We kind of expected a Miles Morales reveal. This is more of a gameplay reveal. I'm just going to skip forward to the gameplay stuff. I don't know if you guys watched
Yeah.
this independently of what's going on right now, like at this moment.
I
do you
have
guys
not
feel
watched
about
it
it?
at all, but I've heard people are upset about the cross-platform thing with this game and Horizon.
I
Yeah,
thought that it actually was a good thing. I thought this was officially or supposed to be not cross-platform,
cross-gen.
I may have.
cross-gen, and then they
Yeah.
announced with this that it actually is going to be available on PS4.
Yes, so I guess that's the elephant in the room, right? When they initially announced Miles Morales, it was going to be a PS5 exclusive along with Horizon sequel, right? This announcement came out. They stated it's coming out on PS4 and PS5, so it is going to be cross-gen for both of those games. Let me read my notes. Sony announced they'll be releasing Miles Morales Ultimate Edition for PS5, which will include the remastered version of the original PS4 Spider-Man, which is actually a pretty good deal. You get 2 games for $70, and they're both solid games.
Yeah.
They will feature many of the same improvements coming to Miles Morales, including updated assets. Spider-Man Miles Morales will cost $50 on both PS4 and PS5, which is lower than a normal game. Like even a current gen game was $60, so Miles Morales will cost $50, which kind of tells me this is not going to be a very deep game or a supported game after launch.
Yeah, they were pretty upfront when they first announced it that it was just a smaller version, basically like kind of like an expansion pack.
Yeah. The PS4 digital version of the game includes a free upgrade on both PS5 consoles, while the PS4 disc version of the game includes a free upgrade on PS5 that has a disc drive. And they did clarify later, saying that if you do buy the physical copy, the PS5 has to be a physical copy also, which is kind of a shame. It seems weird that you would do that.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Control's like being weird about their upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see why people are upset.
Shitty.
Yeah. Because Insomniac early on was like, hey, like we wanted to make web slinging faster, we wanted to do all these things, but the PS4 just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So I think everyone was hoping that this would be the true vision of the game.
One thing I didn't like about this gameplay video is the amount of timed events that happen. I've never played the PS4 or the original one. I don't know how many timed events happen in that one, but God, there's so many timed events in this gameplay footage.
There are a bunch that are kind of like that.
Yeah, during missions,
But
there's a decent amount.
this is a little bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be just like a standard in it. It's just with missions like this, they have a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a thing in like every Spider-Man game because there's no way to do scenes like this with just your regular character moves.
Sure.
So I get it. It's dumb, but I get it.
Yeah. The combat looks fun. I'm sure it's going to be no different. I think so essentially Miles Morales will have abilities that differ from Peter Parker. He has flashy Venom Blast infused abilities and a rechargeable camouflage for stealth. Yeah. It's cool. I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Crazy compared to what Peter Parker had with all his different suits and stuff.
Yeah.
The stealth thing is both neat, but also there's no way it's going to have a good stealth system, so...
Yeah, I guess they have like a...
That was garbage in the first one.
Oh, was it?
That was by far my least favorite part.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Playing as, what's her name? Mary Jane.
You didn't love those missions?
Those are terrible. I thought about not playing or
You
quitting.
don't love those awkward getting caught and she just looks at the camera and screams?
Well, that part was okay.
Yeah, so again, I guess the most important thing is Horizon sequel, and this are becoming PS4 exclusive, or PS4 also. It just kind of dampers the excitement of these games because we were like expecting next gen quality. Yeah. Either way, I mean, it's not a full game, obviously, because they're bundling it for $70, which is a next gen price with the original Spider-Man. So it's going to be a much shorter game.
I'm not super bummed about this. I'm more bummed about the Horizon thing, just because that game kind of pushed the envelope on the PS4.
Yeah.
I would like to see them do it again.
So in that regard, I don't think you're going to see much of a bump in the sequel. At least expectation-wise. I mean, for all we know, it could be a bump because like PS4 won't have ray tracing, PS5 will have ray tracing kind of type bumps in performance. But from the videos I've seen of the PS4 Horizon Dawn compared to PC, and if you like, they have a setting for original setting, right? And that's the PS4 Pro setting. And then they have like the max setting for PC, and the level of increase is very minimal. Like a layman wouldn't be able necessarily to tell the difference between the two graphical settings.
Yeah. I think more than just visually, I want like actual gameplay modifications from it too.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Like I've heard with Horizon 1, they wanted flying mounts originally. PS4 couldn't handle it, so they just had to drop that.
I don't think it's going to happen now, right?
Unless they've really worked some magic, which, I mean, it's Guerrilla Games, so I'm not going to stop believing in them because they're somehow just wizards of PlayStation architecture. But
I mean,
it's probably not going to happen.
Are they wizards on the architecture, or are they more wizards on like delivering a game that has? I never considered them like a graphical wizard for what they can do.
How many Killzone games did you play?
Just the first one.
Like I could go back and still watch like trailers of Killzone 3 and watch gameplay and still think it looks amazing.
Were they running on the same engine, like from when you go from Killzone 1 to 2 to 3?
I'm not certain. I do know that they recently, like in the past 5-10 years, made their own engine, SM engine. And I think it's amazing. Like Death Stranding runs on that same engine. That game is probably one of the best of the past console generation. Yeah.
We'll see. It's just kind of weird. It's just like a weird expectation thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man, I would love for them to bring back Killzone, though.
Yeah. Killzone is honestly one of my favorite shooters.
They should just like reboot it and just like Killzone 2021, kind of like how Doom did it.
So there's no other shooter out there that gets that like same feeling of weightiness to it.
Yeah, new console generation would be so they're doing the Horizon sequel, and a good break would be a Killzone title or a fresh IP, I think, for that developer.
Yep. Right there with you.
Yeah. Let's I didn't have they said a bunch of games. A lot of them were like remakes. I think the only other like fresh IP that they showed footage on was Deathloop,
which is the most exciting one.
Let's turn this volume down. It's kind of, how do you explain Deathloop? It's like Groundhog's Day plus almost like a roguelike.
To me, it's kind of like we're going to take the way that everyone played Dishonored and just make that a gameplay thing or a gameplay mechanic. Because everyone just quick saves constantly when playing assassination type games. Why not just make it part of the game?
Yeah. This looks great, man. It's got like this Tarantino vibe. It has like a roguelike element because like when you die, you redo the run. I don't know what the skill system will be like, so like, do you acquire experience and that carries over to your next run? I'm assuming that's the situation, right?
I think so.
Right, so
yeah, I've never played a game by this developer that I didn't love and think was just super fun. So
yeah,
seeing them do something like cartoony and stylized like this makes me very excited.
I think it'll be really cool. It could be really bad too, but I think it's gonna be really good. This is like one of the better things Bethesda's been publishing lately.
Yep.
Like, Bethesda pretty much just lets id Software do their own thing at this point, because they're like, except for the latest Wolfenstein, which fucking got shat on.
Yep.
But then they did Doom Eternal,
which is so good.
Right? So I think they learned their lesson. I wonder if like that Wolfenstein, Bethesda had a lot more involvement, and they're like, see guys, you guys fucked up our shit. Just let us do our thing.
Yeah. It has to be something like that. Unless maybe they just hate Wolfenstein and just wanted to stop making those games.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a cool IP, man. It's fresh. Concept's great. What do you think, Dylan?
I know nothing about it, and I'm not talking right now because it does look cool from what you're showing, and I'm trying not to absorb anything.
Look, I can't have this hype in my head. I gotta reject the hype.
Yeah. I don't want to get excited. I just want to play it when it comes out, and hopefully it is as fun as it looks now. It kind of reminds me of what is that? The game where you're fighting red people?
Fighting red
Aiden?
people?
Halo.
No, Super Hot.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the sharpness
Yeah.
of it, the modern aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. I get like Super Hot vibes from the parts that I did actually look at.
I think one of the coolest parts of this game is not only you're trying to like murder people, this part where there's someone that's out to murder you the whole time. So you can't like take your time like trying to figure out what you want to do. Like there's an urgency to it. Like
You just gotta
Non-stop speed running.
you just got to
just
go.
do it.
Yeah. I think what's cool about this gameplay is it shows, right? You got to kill these two guys, and you kind of have to kill them both at the same time, or you go back in your death loop and you don't progress. So as you're playing the game, you got to figure that out on your own. I wonder how much they'll leave it for you to figure out on your own, as opposed to like giving you hints like, no, you should like, there's like your subconscious telling you to do something. I don't know what the loop would be.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
In like 8 months, I'll be playing this.
Yeah. Looks great. Exclusive. I want to say they said it was going to be just a console exclusive. Because it'd be weird for Bethesda to do a console exclusive or just on a console. Because, you know, Bethesda is about that money. And especially if it's a hit.
They will sell it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
They're going to sell it on every platform they can put it on at
Forever.
some point. Like I said, they had a bunch of games. The ending was a God of War teaser. All it was Kratos saying, "Get ready for Ragnarok." Essentially, there wasn't much to it. But God of War is coming out in 2021. It's gonna, I'm assuming, gonna be fantastic. It's called God of War Ragnarok. I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Oh, it's going to be a classic.
Yeah, like as long as they follow down that road, right? It's gonna be wonderful. Other than that, they did some other titles like Resident Evil Village and Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. But other than that, man, it's a lot of bangers in this fucking showcase,
Yeah.
man.
It's crazy when you can just like cut those out. I mean, Devil May Cry Special Edition is nothing insane, but
Yeah.
Resident Evil Village or 8, that's gonna be a big
How are
game.
they,
Yeah, it's gonna be.
how
a
are they going
huge
to
game.
sneak the 8 into that?
I think it's V.
Yeah, it's the V is the V Village.
VILL
VIII.
is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
So
dingus. Yeah. No, that
Sorry,
one's
man.
that's the best. That's the best implementation there's been.
Yeah, that's actually very cheeky,
Yeah.
right? So it's like right here's VIL. That's 8. Yeah. And that's gonna be a great game. Like Resident Evil series has been killing it lately with the 2 remakes have been fantastic, and Final Fantasy 7's been really good, even though we'll never play it.
I
8's gonna
played
be
it. I tried it. I think I've told you.
8's gonna be really
I
good.
bought
I'll never
that.
play it. I'm just glad the series is having a resurgence.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's tight. As much as I liked 5 as just an action game,
Yeah,
I think this is much better for the series.
yeah. It separates itself from the rest, and there's not a lot of good horror. I guess great horror games. Like you had
Especially
Dead
big budget
Space.
ones.
Like everyone wishes Dead Space would come back because it was a good.
It will on
Yeah, you know what I
or
mean.
not in
As a fresh title.
Xbox soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be on EA Play. Oh, speaking of games, Left 4 Dead 2 is coming out with a new DLC.
Wild, right?
Yeah, already did.
Crazy. It actually
Yeah.
looks decent.
Yeah, and it's like a full revamp in a lot of systems in the
Yeah.
game too.
Yeah, they're fixing bugs and everything. Something anyone asked for. Valve just does weird stuff sometimes.
Yep, it's the one guy who's been working on it by himself for years.
Yeah, because they took a shit ton of community feedback for it and stuff like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have much else, guys. I think this was a really, really, really good showcase. Like this is some of the best showcases
Good
we've seen in a long
good week
time.
for gaming. just in general.
Fantastic. As a consumer, as a gamer, like, I could see so many more people going multi-platform this next generation because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we'll see a huge spike in multi-platform people, other than
I don't know.
I think most people who are not into it for the games and they're just playing games for fun,
Sure.
are just going to stick with PlayStation.
I want to say that, but because the Series S is such a low price point, I could easily, and with Game Pass, I could easily see a PlayStation owner going, fuck it.
Oh yeah, I think
Yep.
anybody who
it.
is into it for the games,
Yeah,
is probably more likely to get both systems. But if you're into it just to play with friends or just to play, one game a year, then you're probably gonna go PlayStation, which makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
as you should if you're not super into it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think on top of, you're going to start seeing more console games coming to PC. You're going to see this like fusion of platforms starting to intermingle, and it's only good for gamers at the moment. Like, this is probably going to be the best generation for gamers as a whole.
Agreed.
Right? Like, look at Hades. Hades on Switch. It's a PC game, and there's cross-save compatible, like cross-save.
Go wild to me.
Fucking bizarre. Like, 5 years ago, if you were to say like, hey, PC games are going to be cross-saved on Switch. I mean, the Switch hasn't been out that long, but on a handheld device, right? Like, you would have been like, no way. Like, Civ 6 is like cross-save, and Divine Divinity is cross-save.
Will be, yeah.
Like, that would have never been part of the conversation at the time.
No,
it was the only part of the conversation that you would get to is like, this is like my dream of gaming.
Yeah,
this is what I want.
Yeah, this is what the gamers wanted.
Yeah,
but it never like worked at the corporate level, right? So now, like, I think this generation is going to be fantastic for gaming. With the amount of cross progression, like, look at COD, cross progression, cross save, cross platform, and cross. Like, Cold War and Warzone are sharing the same battle pass.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's probably going to be a pretty not a failure, obviously, since Warzone itself is
Successful.
So popular.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be pretty lame.
We'll see. I mean, I would say
I'm not as juiced about this next COD as you guys.
I would say Call of Duty as a whole, like, at least Modern Warfare, had a really good monetization system comparatively and a good launch. But despite its issues, for the most part, it's probably been the best COD in a decade.
Yeah. Easily.
Right.
Easy.
From a consumer standpoint,
easy.
from a gameplay standpoint, from, like, there's a lot of facets that makes it fantastic.
Basically every single part of it.
Yeah. Other than mounted kills.
Yeah. Which I don't play. It probably seemed like a cool idea when they were pitching it.
Sure. Right? Because they wanted time sinks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that game was all about, like, what are the time sinks we can have? Oh, let's give them a bajillion camos to unlock, and how do we get them to unlock it? Let's just fucking make them mount shit of this, like, thing. Makes perfect sense at the time.
Yep.
We'll see how Cold War is, man. I hope it's good. The alpha on PS5 or PS4 was this week.
Shit.
The initial impressions I got is a lot of people said, yeah, it sure as shit feels like an alpha.
It doesn't look that great to me.
I think the other problem with Cold War, and I agree with Dylan, is the timeline that Treyarch got. Because this wasn't supposed to be Treyarch's year. This was supposed to be a Sledgehammer year. And
honestly,
they got pushed.
Sledgehammer is not good.
Yeah. Well, they got pushed up a year, and then COVID happened.
It seems like the perfect situation to delay a game. You already have a perfect
reason. Like, people would accept that.
Yeah. You have easy excuse, not excuse, but
It's a legitimate reason, though. It's a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
Like, no one's like when Halo got pushed back. You're like, thank God. Like, I'm sure COVID really fucked up their deving,
Yeah, of course.
right? So on top of like Treyarch's supposed to essentially make a game, a 3-year game, 3-year development time frame, and now they had to do a game in 2 years.
I mean, they did have one of the best CODs to work off of, but still, I agree.
Yeah. So their dev time is cut down by a third, and then they had COVID happen during that time, half the time. So half their development happened during COVID.
Yeah, so we'll see. But
Yeah, like Dylan said, like push that shit back. Like I don't think anyone's gonna be sad for another year of Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare was pretty successful with Warzone, especially.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen though. Activision, they're gonna pump that shit out.
Gotta make money.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they take the notes on these alphas and push them into the game.
yeah, I mean, it's Treyarch. They usually do, at the very least, a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, Black Ops 4 was fine for the most part, gameplay wise, and the maps.
They've never
for
done
the
a
most
bad
part.
one.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. Sledgehammer, as far as I know, has never done a good one. Infinity War has done bad ones.
yeah.
Ghost is not great.
Yeah. I think we're just in a weird situation because we don't have like a FPS game to play, like a new FPS game to play.
It makes Papa sad.
Yeah, I know. Look at Dylan. He's just sad about it. He's like, Halo got pushed off. I was supposed to play that for the next year.
I'll be okay.
Yeah. I guess we'll play COD. I mean, like even if like you're not super excited about it, like I try to think of a first-person multiplayer game for us to play that's new. Like it's not much else.
I honestly am not looking forward to the new COD at all. I think I might take a year off.
Yeah, we'll see,
Or
buddy.
COD off.
We'll see.
Oh, well, you say that, but
Aiden and I will
if you-
tell a
Yeah.
different tale.
Yeah, if you guys get it, then maybe I would consider it. If Aiden tells me he likes it, then I will probably get it.
I'll be honest.
I trust.
So long
Aiden
as
will
his
lie.
reviews
trust-
come out and
Yeah.
it's not just god awful, I realistically will get it.
Yeah. I mean, based on this weekend alpha, like all the complaints, Treyarch's already said, hey, yeah, we wanted to do that to see like some of the complaints were like sniper rifles was one of them. It's like, yeah, we knew that was going to be a complaint, but we wanted to see what the actual impact in a live environment would be like so we can make adjustments. And then we're rebalancing it, which is the point of an alpha.
Yeah.
That's literally the point, is to break shit to see what the data looks like and make changes associated to it.
Excited, no matter what. Nobody makes me excited.
Hey, we're going to play some Hades.
No one?
Hades makes you excited.
Hades does make me excited. Yeah.
All right.
You got me there.
I got nothing else, boys. Anything else?
Nope, I'm going back to the Xbox.
All right.
You go into the Xbox, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.